So the last video about living in Costa Rica, you had so many questions and it seemed to capture your imaginations. And so I thought I'd do a video, a little bit longer video, explaining what life is like here in Costa Rica, and if that's something that you guys fancy. And I'm not on commission from the tourist board. I should be Costa Rican tourist board. If you're seeing this, hit me up. But what I'll do is to give you just my honest opinion on what life is like here, what options you've got, and this kind of thing. So, cost of living first. I moved here from Australia. So, Australia, you heard me in the last video, it is extortionately expensive in Australia, from groceries to everything. So, my perspective on how much things cost is maybe different to if I'd come from the UK, but I personally find the cost of living in Costa Rica quite reasonable. If you are shopping and eating what the locals will eat, then the cost of frutas y vegetales, which is fruit and vegetables, isn't that much. There's no fluoride in the water and it's kind of clean. So, there's lots of organic produce and vegetables, and your diet will definitely improve when you're here. But as far as the cost of living is concerned, you won't have any heating bills because it's warm all year round. You will have electricity bills, but I think the difference is in your favor. So you're not going to be paying heating bills. You'll have a small gas bottle, which will run a cooker, and the rest of it will be electric, and the electric is pretty reasonable. They do complain that it's expensive, and the Americans complain here that it's expensive, but I don't think it's that expensive. So it is one of the most expensive countries in Central America, but then you're comparing it to places like Nicaragua and sort of Guatemala and places like this where it is literally cheap as chips to live if you want to, but it's quite dangerous in those countries. So yes, it's more expensive in Costa Rica, but it's safe, it's clean, and there's no violent crime. There's nothing. They also don't have a military, which is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool because it's something I didn't realize till I came here, that there's no military in Costa Rica. They got rid of it. Different stories as to why they got rid of it, whether the guy didn't want anybody who would overthrow him, like the military, or whether they just disbanded it to spend money on the environment. But the result is the same. So there's no military, and the money that they had for the military budget, they put into the environment. So it's the most biodiverse place on Earth. There's over 1,500 different species of birds. There's monkeys, sloths, and all of this kind of thing. And it is beautiful, really, really beautiful and unspoiled. So it's underdeveloped. You're not going to see sort of sprawling concrete metropolises and things like this. So it's all jungle and it's all about the environment. The electricity they produce is all hydroelectric and wind, and they're a net exporter of electricity to neighbouring countries. So they're quite smart in that regard. Also, it's got some of the best coffee in the world. Starbucks has huge plantations down here, growing Arabica beans, but there's lots and lots of independent businesses growing coffee, which is world class. It's stunning. The food system is great. So, as mentioned, that's nice and clean. It's all decentralized, so it's not huge producers. It's all local individual farmers that are going on, selling their stuff into the shops, and it's really, really cool like that. There's no speed cameras, there's no AI and automatic checkouts. It's a cash-based society, so everybody likes cash, including restaurants and things like this. Like I say, there's also traditional family values down here. There's no sort of identity politics or woke agenda or anything like this. And it's a Catholic country, so you'll be very familiar with the holidays like Easter. This week, for instance, is coming up to Easter in it. So they've got Santa Semana, they call it here, which is like the Holy Week. All the ticos and ticas leave the capital and go to the coast. They have a week off. Navidad, Feliz Navidad, which is Christmas. They celebrate for about a month. So you'll be very familiar with sort of the cultural holidays and things like that. The people are very, very friendly. Ticos and ticas is what they're called locally. They're very, very friendly people. If you hablo Espanol, that will go a long way. So if you come in here, you need to start to look to learn Spanish. You'll get by on Google Translate. And there are many, many pensioners on fixed incomes living here from the States that get by, and they've been here for probably 10 years and they still don't speak Spanish. So I would recommend trying to learn Spanish. It goes a long way. If you're making money here, you need to be doing it online with an online business. You won't be taking a job off a local. They won't authorize you to do that. So they protect their labor market. So anybody living here either has an online business or is on a investment visa and is running a business, but then the staff members are all Ticos. But the owner might be a gringo or a Westerner, or you're a pensioner on a fixed income from another country, essentially. Visa options, there's loads. There's the digital nomad visa, the investor visa, you've got the retirement visa. There's even people who live like perpetual tourists. That is very common. So every 90 days, you would go to Nicaragua or Panama, walk across the border, get your passport stamped, walk back again. They give you 90 days. The government allow people to do this. And there's people that have been living here for like 15, 20 years as tourists. It's pretty laid back. They're very welcoming here. So they appreciate that sort of the economy is driven from tourism and visitors. And so you're very, very welcome here. But just when you come, if you're coming, you need to look to assimilate. Don't be bringing the sort of Western impatient attitude that everything needs to be done sort of now. We need to sort of be a bit more patient when it comes to sort of culture and things like this. And they have a lot of work-life balance. There's a very steady pace to life here in Costa Rica. And in the Nicoya Peninsula, which is on the northwest, these people live to some of the longest ages, like over 100 is very, very common. They live long lives there because literally they don't have much stress. They take life very, very easily. Of course, there are some drawbacks. No place is perfect. However, when you try and find a perfect country in the world, there's always going to be things which are great and then things which are not so great. But all in all, on Costa Rica, if you weigh up the stuff which is bad, and there is a few, but I don't want to make it like a negative video. Really, it's not too much even worth mentioning. But if you look at the stuff which is bad or negative, compare that to the stuff which is positive and good, then the good far outweighs the stuff which is bad. So again, make your own decisions about it. There's lots of flight connections from Europe. So, again, jump on Google and check this thing out. Maybe I'll produce a travel guide in the future. Who knows? A travel guide to come into Costa Rica and the stuff that you won't get in guidebooks that you only get after you've lived here for a bit, which I now have. Like I say, it's a great place. I love living here. I'm not attached to anything. Wherever I lay my hat is my home, really. But for now, I certainly love Costa Rica. It's been great for us, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Anyway, thanks so much, and I hope that answered a few of your questions. Take care.